Okay, let's get this right. Caoimhin Agyarko, how are you, sir?
Not too bad, you got it in one.
I'm getting good at that name, aren't I?
Yeah, you're remembering it?
It's that little tip you give me though, Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen Caoimhin, yeah.
That's how I get it. Anyway, it's from the last time we've seen you. You've had 2 wins, 2 more wins. Good performances. Have you been pleased with how it's all gone?
Yes, definitely. I'm a third fight, I got the kid out of there. Fourth fight, I had a good kid with a winning record. Went the distance, but I'm glad I went the distance because it was 6 tough rounds that nobody else has really tested me in. He'd only been stopped once by a Eubank and beat twice, so it was a kid with a winning record and he came to fight, so yeah, I'm pleased with my performances.
Like I say, you got that KO, I mean, it's something that while it doesn't bother you, it kind of was bothering you, isn't it?
Yes, definitely, because I know how hard I punch and so does my sparring partners, so it's just putting it together in the ring, and unfortunately I've had a bit of trouble with bad hands and I've had to fight near enough 4 fights with one hand, but everything's coming together now and everything's looking up, hands are healing and looking on, they're pushing on.
I'm just watching you on the pads just then. I wouldn't say you're giving your hands much chance of healing, but there you go.
Yeah, no, not with punching like that, but they are healed. As you've seen, I was punching with both hands, putting a lot of power into my shots, so they're healed, they're fine, feeling okay, so I'm looking forward to getting in there and being able to put everything together.
Now you've managed to up your activity a little bit. You had your last fight over here and then you took the opportunity of fighting at a great Belfast institution, the Ulster Hall. That must have been quite special for a local lad. Very
special. It's somewhere that I dreamed of boxing. I've never really got the opportunity to box in the amateurs, so as soon as I got the call and I asked if I wanted to fight, it was a no-brainer. Like I took it with open arms, and I was so happy to be able to box in my hometown. I had unbelievable reception out there.
That sort of tick a box for you in your career boxer, or would you fought there a lot as an amateur?
Actually not. I didn't fight a lot in Belfast as an amateur. It was always like the nationals were always down in Dublin and stuff, so it definitely ticked the box being able to see all my fans come and watch me. Like even in the amateurs, I never let anyone really come to watch me apart from my brother and stuff and my girlfriend. But as a professional, I have a good fan base, and it was unbelievable for them to be able to come and watch me in my hometown.
I saw you was out at the Belfast show, the BT show, where little Dennis was on the card. Michael Conlon was at the top of it. I mean, it looked quite a spectacle. Was it enjoyable to watch?
Yeah, it was an unbelievable night for Irish boxing. Like 10,000 people in the Falls Park is unbelievable. I grew up like no more than a 3-minute walk. Like on the other side of the trees is where I grew up. My family's from where my amateur boxing club is. So it was unbelievable.
You used to go to that festival?
Yeah, I go every single year. So it was unbelievable to see boxing held in the Falls Park and local lads being able to perform at such a quality place in front of thousands of people. So it was unreal.
I want to ask you about Belfast boxing and how well you feel it is equipped to deal with life post Frampton, because I mean, Carl has been the driving force of Belfast boxing for so long. He's the one the public really get behind, and you can see that. How well off are they going to be once Carl hangs them up? Is there somebody ready to step into those shoes, because they're awful big shoes to fill?
I'll fill them. Carl set the standard of he brings both communities, Protestant and Catholics, together, and everyone gets behind them, support. Belfast in general will always support their boxers, and I think at the moment you've got Ryan Burnett and Michael Conlon kind of trying to fill them boots. Michael Conlon headlined 2 weeks ago, 10,000 people. Ryan Burnett's headlined in the Odyssey with 9,000 people. So yeah, there is big boots to fill, but I think them two are kind of paving the way just behind him, and then there's a lot of up and coming fighters who'd be loving to take that spot.
I've been to a couple of shows in Belfast where there's been really good local fights on the card and people who we think are big names, but then the comparison to when Carl Frampton comes on, it's just something else altogether. I mean, I know he's a bit of a statesman, Carl, but he's just, for some reason, that following he's got just seems for him alone. It doesn't seem to sort of translate onto everybody else particularly.
It's kind of, I think because he's been at that level so long, he's kind of, everyone comes out to watch him, everyone's there to cheer Carl Frampton on. As soon as Carl Frampton's fighting, everybody's going to watch Carl Frampton. But they do, I can't knock Belfast fans, they do get behind their up and coming fighters, and people on the card. Maybe not so much as Carl, but everyone wants to see Carl Frampton. Do you know what I mean? And especially fighting for world titles and stuff. So everyone's going to come out and roar, and it's the last fight of the night and stuff like that. So,
I mean, I suppose the question is like, you think, how do you go about getting a following or cultivating a following like Frampton's got? I mean, I know in his early days, I think Barry McGuigan being a Belfast legend, I think that played a part in it, didn't it? Because he had the old guard and the new guard. But what's your take on it? I mean, how do you cultivate a following like that from both sides?
I think Carl's really good at speaking, and he
talks a lot of sense as well.
He speaks a lot of sense, and he's not a bullshitter. He's nice to the fans. He's humble. He gets photos. He would never be rude to the fans. So I think that helps. And people seeing that always, like, from just on the outside, someone seeing that he's good to fans, they want to jump on the bandwagon and kind of support. So I think just for any up and coming boxers, they can look at Carl, and he's set an example, and just kind of follow the way he did it. You know what I mean? So.
I'd say Michael Conlan, who's obviously predominantly fights in America. I think he has 1 or 2 fights back home a year. I mean, I know it's difficult for you because you're probably going to tell me you know him very well. Do you see Michael Conlan being at that elite level just yet? Because there's a lot of people questioning it, whether he is quite ready for world title fights after his last couple.
I don't doubt that he's not ready for world title fights. I think he's got a tough division. He's got the likes of Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez just moved up. There's Carl Frampton, Josh Warrington, who's the IBF champion. I don't doubt that he has the talent and ability to be world champion. I think he hasn't really shown his potential in the last fights, but I just put that down to fighters that he's fought haven't come to fight. He's hit them early, or he showed his skill, and they just don't want to come out and fight. They don't want to give him something to hit. Do you know what I mean? So they kind of get in that like defensive mode and just try and move and survive. As where someone like a Josh Warrington coming out to fight with Michael Conlan. Conlan will show more to his game. He'll be able to adapt better, and I just think it's the level of opponents that he's fought that he hasn't been able to show his high quality of boxing, rather than him not being a world level fighter.
Does he carry enough pop to operate at the highest level?
I think he does. Yeah, I've seen Michael spar, and I think at that weight, it's not. I don't really think it's about carrying the pop. I think it's his technical ability, his speed, his footwork. Everything will be able to put opponents away. Do you know what I mean? He's had 12 fights or something, or eight knockouts. So that shows for a featherweight or super feather. That shows that he can have a wee bit of a whack. Do you know what I mean? He crippled that last guy with a body shot. Do you know what I mean? So.
Talking of weights, what's the situation with your weight? I keep sort of hearing, but you're a middleweight, but you're thinking you might take your power down to light middle. What's your sort of current thinking?
At the moment, like my last fight, I come in 11.6, 11.7. I was meant to be 11.10 or something, so coming 3-4 pounds on the weight. I'm kind of making middleweight easy. I don't have to struggle to make middleweight, but it might be a bit of a push to get them extra kilos off to go down the light middle. I think I can do it. My team think I can do it. We'll just take it. I've said to each fight I'm just going to come in later and later and later. And if it gets to the stage where I come in like 11.3 or 11.2 and I'm drained or I can't make it, then I'll just stay at middleweight. But at the moment, everything's going well. I'm performing well, coming down the weight, and I think I potentially could be a light middleweight, and I'll be a big light middle, one of the hardest hitting light middles out there.
It's not like you have to make any decisions until you get close to titles anyway, is it? So.
Yeah, you don't have to, but right now I'm just bringing the weight down gradually each fight, just coming in later, so I know that I can't make it, because there's no point going to make it, because it's just a waste of time if I don't know that I can make it. So I mean, so if I bring it down, I get to a certain level where I don't think I can make it, then I'll just stay at middleweight and not waste any more time. But as of now, I've been getting down and everything's been going fine, so I think I can make light middle, and like you said, I don't have to make it until a title fight, so we'll just see how it goes and take it easy.
York Hall, September 14th, so what can we expect that night? Are you any ideas on opponents or what you're going to be up against, what rounds?
I think it should be an 8-rounder. I've did 4-6 now, it should be an 8-rounder. I was meant to fight Chris Jenkinson, I think, tough journeyman, but I think he's pulled out, so nothing yet, I don't know yet. We're working on our opponent, but you can expect, as always, an explosive performance, and I'm looking forward to putting on another performance where you'll see a different side of my game, like I did in my last fight.
Caoimhin, thank you very much. Good luck, mate.
Thank you.